If I got handed a sailboat, what would be the first thing I would buy? Good question. I'm going to throw that right back out to you. Right now, I want you to go down the comments and write, what's the first thing you would buy if you got a sailboat tomorrow? Once you do that, come back up here and watch the video. We'll see if our answers match. I've got 4 items that I would buy if I would buy my sailboat tomorrow. And it's not a fancy tool to fix anything on your boat, although it could save you or your boat. Many beginners overspend and then they end up not buying the correct things. You don't need everything to start, just the right pieces of equipment to get out on the water. And then later, as you've gotten used to sailing, you can see what needs to be upgraded, replaced, fixed, and what other things you might think on getting. Buying smart means you will have a more enjoyable experience, a safer experience, and a more affordable experience, meaning you can buy more things that you want for your boat. Okay, any guesses on what it might be? No? That's alright. I'll tell you what it is. A VHF radio. Well, you're probably sitting there thinking, well, why would you buy that? My boat already came with one. Well, although that might be true, what if your boat didn't? Or what if there's a better one out on the market? Or what if yours is a bit old? You see what I'm getting at here? And the very important thing, a waterproof with a built-in GPS. So that if you're ever in an emergency with your boat, first thing you do, pick up that VHF, find your emergency responders in whatever area you're in, and tell them where you're at and what's the problem. As I said at the beginning of this video, this item could literally save your life. And if you have even checked all of those boxes, you might want a handheld VHF. No, let me rephrase that. Not might, definitely. Why? I'll tell you why. Because what if your boat starts sinking? You take your life raft and you chuck it in the water, you hop in it, and you have your VHF. Guess what? You can do exactly what I said before. Call your emergency people, whoever's in your area, or the area that you're in, tell them situation, and tell them your coordinates. I believe some of them have a built-in tracker so that it can give that access to emergency responders. And they're affordable too, but essential. Now you guys get 6 runner-up essentials that, as the name implies, are essential for your boat. Let's keep on the track with emergencies, and let's just go with a simple first aid kit that should include flares, plus all the typical stuff you find in the first aid kit, along with life jackets. Now those don't have to go into your first aid kit, but they should be readily available all around your boat, just in case. Okay, moving on from all the safety stuff, we have a headlamp, because a headlamp is very useful for a majority of things, such as nighttime sailing or in the cabin use. It's hands-free, it's reliable, and it's bright. Another thing about it is that most of the time when you're working on your engine, it might be in dark spaces, so you can use that as well. And of course, you can use your headlamp for when you're fixing things, and when you're fixing that little water pump underneath your cupboard, it might be a bit dark, so headlamp's useful. Next up is a multi-tool or a rigging knife. It cuts rope, it fixes stuff, it opens stacks, cans, and a bunch of other things, and you use it constantly. If you don't have one, I definitely recommend getting one. Next up is a waterproof bag that you can use to transport your laptop, phone, logs or journals, paper, legal documents on a dinghy, because dinghies often are not protected. So one big wave or just one splash and your documents to check into the country are now splashed on, or one drop on your computer and bam, your computer's out of working business. They're also very useful when you are under sail, because you keep your legal documents, your phone, your laptops, your log books, your anything else you find important safe and in one spot, which is also very useful if your boat starts sinking, because all you have to do, run down, grab that dry bag, and you're out. For all those reasons, I believe dry bags are very essential. This next one is sort of like a bonus, but I found it more importance enough to actually keep on this list, but not as essential. It's a solar battery bank, which you shouldn't really need if your boat already has solar, but it could be useful if it's been cloudy the last few days because you have a battery bank. It doesn't necessarily have to be solar, but you have a battery bank that you can use to charge your phone and your other devices with. Next up and lastly is a manual bilge pump. This is once again not essential, but it's smart to have on board. Depending on the size of them, they can be stored relatively easily, and it can be used as a backup if your normal or primary one goes out. It can be very useful in an emergency situation. Why this matters to me? Well, I am in the critical planning and saving phase. So every dollar that I have that's not going towards the boat needs to go into one of these pieces of equipment. These were just some things that I came across while I was researching online about useful things to have in emergencies and just on your sailboat in general, and these six of them kept popping up over and over and over again. So I decided to share them with you. As I said earlier, if you have not already, comment down below if you got a sailboat today or tomorrow, what is the first thing you would go out and buy? What is the first thing that comes to mind? Just think right now. Just pause the video, go down in the comments, and tell me what it is. I'll respond. I'll say, hey, that's a great idea. Didn't think of that. Or, that's a good idea, but this could be more useful. Although I like that as a seventh option. Get my point? For those of you who are new here, this is my channel where I share my sailing journeys. I started this journey about just over 100 days ago by this point, and I am full on going for it. I plan to be on the water in a few years, and I'm taking you guys with me. Subscribe so you can see every step of the way. I'm headed from land to sea. Thank you guys for watching so much. Peace. Have a good day.